So let's create our options. We'll go ahead and click on Options, and then we'll click on Add. Right here are the only two fields that you need to create any option. We're going to go ahead and go through all the fields, but you only really need these two bolded fields. Like always, the bolded fields are the required fields. Price diff is the price difference that this option will add to this product. First thing we're going to do is tell this option who its category is, and we're going to start with the colors. Since color usually doesn't add anything to the price, we're just going to say 0. Option description is the actual title of the option. So in this case, it's the color name. We're going to say blue for the first one. Apply to product codes is the product code that this option applies to, or the actual list of product codes that this product applies to. Don't worry, you don't actually have to memorize it because I don't. There's plenty of ways to do this for options. We're actually going to do it the easier way, which is going into the product and then selecting the option. So we're just going to leave this blank for now. We'll go ahead and open up the advanced options, and we have arrange options by, just like product popularity and category sort order. You just fill in a number and it'll sort it by that. If there's no number, it goes alphabetically. Vendor price diff is the same as the price diff, but it calculates the vendor price differentials for this option. Recurring price diff and setup cost diff are basically the same things, but for those particular pricings. Text box size is the rows of the text box if you set this option category to a text box. Text box max length is the maximum number of characters that you want to fit into this field. So if you have, like let's say an engraving, and you want them to be able to engrave up to 8 characters, you would set this to 8 for this particular one. You make sure you also set the option category to text box. Text box rows is just that, how many rows this text box goes out. Jump to product code, don't worry about that, it's actually old, it doesn't even get used anymore. Is product code, though, is actually quite used. Each option represents one single item in your store. You would use this particular field in the option. Apparel stores and the normal uses for options don't really see this. One example of this would be if you owned a computer store and you allowed your customers to configure their machines. Well, you have separate SKUs for your hard drives and your RAM and your CPUs that are probably already in the store. So what you do is you say, if this is the chip option and an Intel Pentium 2.4, you would actually put the Intel Pentium 2.4 product code in here to let the software know to deduct that from the inventory, because that's it's going to be used for the CPU. And then if it's multiple, then you would type in the quantity and it takes away. Value is something new. If you check this box, it'll add a none the drop-down box. Option description side note is a little text blurb that comes up next to the options when they fully supported and rarely used are exactly how it sounds, rarely used fields, except for apply to category IDs and default selected. Default selected allows you to make this particular option the one that's selected when the customer goes to the product details page. Apply to category IDs is pretty nice because it's an electronics store and you categorized relatively well, so you have your DVD players in one category, appliances in another category, and even subcategory better than that. And then let's say you extended warranties on these products. Well, instead of having to go into each product and adding the extended warranty, you can just create the extended warranty option and apply it to the category where these products are located, and every single one of those products will now get this warranty option. So that's what that's there for. So let's go ahead and start creating some new options. So we're going to add an add mode and start quickly creating colors. Blue now. Now I also want, let's say, fuchsia. That's a funny color name. I don't even think I spelled it right, but whatever. Let's say primrose is one I saw somewhere. That's cool. Now we're done with the colors. I think that'll be enough. Let's switch over to the size, and we'll do small, medium, large, X large, and we'll also add a double XL, and we'll say that this one is $4, adds $4 to the product price. And we'll do add and edit mode, and now we're done. Now what we're going to do is attach these options to the product. So we'll go over to inventory products, click on shirt 01, We'll scroll down here and pop open the product options section. Click to edit. Select all of these and add. Just hide that. And we'll click on save changes. To the front and refresh. Options to choose from. Here's the color, here's the size, and this question mark is the option about options description that we talked about earlier. If we click on that, we'll see that please choose your color here, and if we click on the size, we'll say please choose your size, and you can add HTML, like I said before, into those fields. The difference between heading group and option category description. We'll go back to the product options, and we'll click on option categories, and we'll click on color. Group and the option categories description the same. You see that nothing really there. It's just color and then the question mark and then the particular option. But let's see what happens when we make one different. Save changes and go to the front, refresh. And we have choose your color, and then we have a heading group. Well, this is the heading group, and this is the category description that goes over next to the option. And then we have the rest of these. Now, you might say, why would you want to do that? Well, one reason is just to clean this stuff up. So instead, you can say, choose your options, save that, over to the next one under choose your size, and change its heading group to choose your options also. Fresh. Your options layout here. So quick color, size right here, bam, 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 everything's there, and it's just a little cleaner. And so that's really it for setting up options. We're going to talk about, or in the next section, we're going to talk about Smart Match.